Alright, I'm going to be comparing a few different models and talking through them in this video, but I will be focusing on the new QX70 recently released by Eachine. So on the left here you've got the original Inductrix, and I've also known as the Tiny Whoop. I recently added a FPV camera to that and have been flying it, for a while. The middle one here is the FPV Inductrix. It also happens to come with this pretty cool screen and radio. And then over here you've got the QX70. Okay, as you can see over here, I've got the Inductrix FPV. Unfortunately, I had to move it to a different frame, and that's actually the Eachine E010 frame, because as you can see here, this is after just 2 crashes, or maybe 2 or 3, but a couple of the fins broke, so it doesn't fly very stable, and it's very weak frame. So I went ahead and switched over. This frame is a couple grams heavier, but it gets the job done and works fine. And here's a comparison of the radios that you can use. So on the left is the Blade Inductrix radio, and it's it's really small. And then you've got the Taranis. So some people will use the FrSky version of the XC70, or you can use even on the Inductrix you can get what's called a Orange RX, which I've got on here for flying that. But the Orange RX is very, I'd just say, inconsistent. So a lot of times you'll have to rebind it or cycle the power on the Inductrix to get it to work. And then you've got the the FlySky FSI6 radio. This thing is probably, it feels a lot cheaper, and it is. It's only about maybe a $45, $50 radio. This is a $200 radio, and you can definitely tell a difference in quality. It's really light, probably about more than half as light, but I do like that because it's a little bit smaller as well. You can see kind of side-by-side comparison. So and this thing, hey, if I drop it, if I lose it, if I break a switch, it's not as big of a deal. So anyway, I'm gonna be trying to bind that with this, and there are no instructions that came with the kit, so I guess I'm just gonna hope for the best and rely on some of the past knowledge that I've had with these radios. Pretty nice that they include extra props, a propeller, changing wrench, as well as the extra motor. So that's something that you do not get with the Inductrix. The motors that you're using are also larger. They're 8.5 millimeter, whereas on the Inductrix they're only 6.5 millimeter. And I really don't understand why they went to these gum stick battery style connectors. Apparently I've read reports of these only being rated at about 30 plugins, and the guys that I fly with, they've already had to replace theirs and switched them over to the low C connector, which you can see which is already being used on the QX70s. So these tend to be a lot more robust connector and hold up. So hopefully listen to this and redesign the connector, because there's really no reason for it to be this profile. Alright, fully loaded with a stock battery. My modified Inductrix here is about 30 grams. From what I understand, this frame is about maybe 2 grams heavier than the stock, which I've confirmed. And so the Eachine QX70 appears to be quite a bit heavier at 55 grams, fully loaded. That's with the battery and the camera. So yeah, there's about a 20 gram difference, which in the world of micro quadcopters, that's pretty significant. But we do have a bigger battery, we've also got bigger motors, so none of that should be an issue. Alright, I've got part of the canopy open here, and as you can see, hopefully here's the little bind button. So you gotta power it up, have your receiver powered up with bind mode. For the FlySky, you just turn it on and then hold this down when you turn it on. That'll put it into bind mode. Then you plug this in and hold the little bind button, and then plug that in at the same time. So it's going to take a little bit of finger gymnastics, but I should be able to do it. Alright, everything is working now. Just an important reminder, after you're done binding, make sure you put the screw back on. I actually forgot to do that and lost that tiny little screw, but I had a spare. So anyway, I go ahead and give it a test flight here. Go. Got some punch to it. It's cool when I back up, the lights blink when I go forward. and when I yaw, it doesn't do anything but banking left and right. It changes it. It's a little bit noisier, actually a lot noisier than the Inductrix. Seems about the same, stability and speed wise. It's definitely something you can fly indoors. Ooh. I have not done anything in Cleanflight or Betaflight yet, so, but it's flying very stable. Whoa, just took a crash. All right.